Dear Elena and Elijah, there are ways to engage your authority. Again, this is the Operation Fatherhood channel here, trying to build better fathers, intentional fathers, build up my own self as a father, and build up the next generation since 2016. So again, there are ways to engage your authority. I say this because I was watching a video earlier off of TikTok, and I believe the people or person who posted it was I think it's called the Mentor Source. And so basically it shows a young man, I guess in a high school, engaging with his teacher and sharing his frustration with her, I guess her teaching style or what have you. So you can go on TikTok and actually watch this.
You would just get up and teach them instead of handing them a freaking packet, yo. There's kids in here who don't learn like that. Bye. They need to learn face to face. You're just getting mad because I'm pointing out the obvious and you're too late.
Wasting my time.
No, I'm not wasting your time. I'm telling you what you need to do.
Get out.
You want kids to come into your class, you want them to get excited for this, you got to come in here, you got to make them excited. You want a kid to change and start doing better, you got to touch his freaking heart. Can't expect a kid to change if all you do is just tell him. You got to take this job serious. This is the future of this nation. And when you come in here, like you did last time, and make a statement about, oh, this is my paycheck, indeed it is. But this is my country's future and my education.
I respect that. Can you go outside, please?
I got this.
Now here's the thing, okay? The young man had some points, right? So he's going off and he's telling the teacher, this is you should do more than just give worksheets, and you should put your heart into it and things. It's not just a paycheck, okay? Although there are possibly some educators out there who just do it for the paycheck. However, there are ways to engage your authority, right? So, he's yelling and going on and on about, how she should be doing this, she should be doing that, and the things that she should do to make it better for herself as a teacher and for those students. And I think there are probably other students in the background who are like, yeah, right on. And the thing I've always said before is when it comes to these kind of videos is before you applaud them, make sure you never know what happens in the beginning. People can start live and record like right when things are happening, and you don't know what that particular young man was doing. He could have been off the chain in the class. He could have been rude. It may be the story will come out that he was, good or being nice, and he's just sharing his frustration. But again, I do say there are ways to engage your authority. There are ways to engage your teacher. Sometimes you will have teachers that are difficult. There are people who are difficult all the time. Teachers, professors. I remember, matter of fact, there was a time when I was working at a college and a young man came to see me and he had told me about a particular college professor that he had, quote unquote, got into it with. And the college professor was rude to him and tried to correct him and check him on his beliefs, right? And I knew who he was talking about. I knew that the professor was going to not enjoy his statements or how he felt about things. And I told him, I said, man, listen, sometimes, okay, you have to be willing to do what's going to please the teacher or the professor. You have to do things. There's a way to engage them, right? If you know they have certain beliefs or a certain way they want you to do something in the classroom, instead of, because they're in charge of your grade, one, and two, you don't want to just be rude for the sake of being rude. You can engage a person and still try to figure out what is going to work best for that teacher or professor. And maybe later on, this is the biggest thing, later on you can say to them, hey, can I speak to you in your office? Or can I speak to you out in the hallway? Or can I speak to you, basically so we're not in front of an audience. And sometimes what happens with people when they get in front of an audience is they try to get more attention on themselves. And so that's the thing with this young man. He's yelling and things of that nature. He had some good points, but sometimes what you're saying is not going to go over well because of the way you're engaging the person. The yelling, at the top of your lungs, trying to tell them how they should do their job. Because sometimes I've been a teacher before, love students, but you can be as loving to them as possible. You can put your heart into it. And there's a lot of young folks who just don't care. So it's not about the worksheet. Okay. It's not only that the teacher needs to have a heart, a student and young people sometimes need to have a better respect for their authority and understanding of how things should work. Okay. So again, all right, check out that TikTok if you ever get a chance to. But again, young people, okay, be loving and respectful and be kind and respectful to your authority and your teacher, okay? And if you have an issue with that teacher, ask them, hey, can I speak to you privately to the side? you might be surprised the kind of reaction you get. Operation Fatherhood channel here. Just giving you food for thought. Okay? Something to think about. Peace. And let me add one more bit when it concerns authority. When it comes being authority, when it comes being a teacher, okay, I did do a couple years, maybe doing it again soon. The one thing we have to remember too is that when it comes to young people, when it comes to just being authority, so even if you're a police officer or any, you're just over anyone, sometimes having a heart really to be understanding to whatever the person is trying to engage you on is something to think about. When it comes to, like, if you're a police officer or a teacher or even as a parent, I have to try to remember that I don't want to abuse my authority, right? So I don't want to be abusive towards a person just because they don't want to do what I want them to do or hold to my view. And so that's kind of something I think I needed to add to, right? That, yes, a young person should have done better in engaging with the teacher, but as a teacher or authority figure, you have to be understanding to that person as well. Difficult, but it can be done. Something to think about.